All right. Hey, good morning. Good morning. All right. Today we're going to get into the market. Today's video is probably going to be fairly short. Talked about it yesterday. Chairman Powell is supposed to speak at 10 in front of Congress. And anytime he speaks, the market moves. So sometimes your day-to-day analysis can become somewhat invalid. So I would be careful on trading before 9 or 30, maybe get in, get out. And after Powell speaks or during his speak, see which way the market is moving and then follow the trend. And you back in the afternoon for your technical setups. Anyhow, that's how I'm looking at it today. But let's take a look and see what's going on with ES. ES is going to move today. Actually, I'm looking at the hourly chart. Uh, it can move about 60 points down. It can move almost about 60 points up. So the ES is going to move when Powell speaks. Which way? I don't know. Right now it's leaning a little bearish, but all of that can flip on a dime based on his notes that will come out right before he speak. And we'll just see how the market takes it. Sometimes the market gives you a tip. You'll start seeing stocks start to trend a certain way in a group setting. You always want to try to look for confluence. It makes it a little easier when you can find 2 or 3 stocks in the same sector. AMD, NVIDIA, ARM, all moving the same direction, or Amazon and Google moving in the same direction, Apple, etc. All right, so right now the ES is right there in the middle. Let's talk about a stock that I spoke about yesterday. McDonald's kicked butt. Man, I only got in on a little bit of this play. It kind of ran off on me, but man, it was still a good play. McDonald's did exceptionally well. The other stock that I mentioned that's on the other video about Tesla short, it did just that. You know, it went up, bought the swing, and it did 100% on the option. Probably could have stayed in it even more, but since you did 100%, I was like, hey, just take the profit because Powell was speaking today, but it looked, you could have made a lot more on it. We'll see after he speaks Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe get into it again if it continues to fall. Let's look at Tesla. Wow, fired off on a squeeze. It's already short. Look at that camera candlestick right there. I project it's going to continue to fall. I got right here the 200 down to 300. So yeah, we can probably go another 50 points over this next week or so. So Tesla still for me is a short, but we'll see what happens the next 2 days with Powell speaking. See how the market want to respond. All right, so Tesla is on the list today. Let's look at go back to McDonald's. When the stock runs up after earnings, we saw it last week with Boeing. Sometimes it wants to give back those earnings. And I'll probably wait and see whenever that day is this week when McDonald wants to give it back. I will probably be waiting to short. Right now, McDonald's is still up there. It would have to break this 307 level, a 303, and it can go all the way back down to 297. But right now, I can't call it. And again, I'm going to be super patient today because of Powell. So let's look at Shopify has earnings. If there's another stock, I'll probably look at out the gate. It might be Shop. Do 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 do. All right, Shopify. Is it going to come up? Doom. Look at Shopify. You got the 123 is already falling to 116. Might be a bearish play. So we'll see if it gets back above 117 or not, or retests it. Shopify might be a short. I haven't seen the earnings calls or the minutes yet. I'm just looking at the technicals right now. If you want to continue that trend, I might nibble on it before Powell, but um, not in a big rush. BP is another. Has earnings. Yeah, if it can come back down here to $2 or $3 to the downside, that would be pretty nice. I will take that. And BP is a fairly cheap option. I would probably do BP. It's cheap. I won't risk a lot. This is probably the only one I'll be looking at before Powell speaks. Now, after he starts speaking or leading up to it, I'm just going to focus on the FANGs and like the Amazon, Google's, Apple's in the morning time, and maybe Tesla, and just see what the NVIDIA is another stock that we talked about yesterday, having to get past 130, and it shot right past that. I did not get in this play, missed that one, but it did exceptionally well yesterday. So I was looking at NVIDIA, but can't look at them all, can't catch them all, and that's cool. So yeah, I'll probably just look at NVIDIA, maybe AMD, some of my favorites I like to trade. Once Powell starts speaking, seeing if I can find confluence, which way they want to trend. Obviously, support and resistance is always key, and look to trade them. One stock I did want to talk about that is more of an investment or buying leaps on, and that's Cleveland-Cliffs. So the administration announced that they will be doing tariffs on steel, and you see Cleveland-Cliffs jumped up to almost $1 from yesterday, from about $11 all the way up to at 12. This is going to run probably again today. Now, this is another one that Cleveland-Cliffs. Let's see what the options are looking like now. Yeah, Cleveland-Cliffs and BP are fairly cheap. These are something I would definitely get into based on the setup this morning. And like I said, it's not a big risk because the option contracts are fairly reasonable. But they both will have a lot of volatility today. So those are probably two I would play. Also, Cleveland-Cliffs is a stock I wouldn't mind buying. I'll look at it on the weekly. So you see right now on a weekly, over the last 3 years, it's been down at the lowest, around $10 a share. Right now it's at 12. But it has been, I know this stock has been up to $22 a couple of times over the past couple of years. And so if the administration is going to enact tariffs on steel manufacturers, which, if I'm not mistaken, they did something very similar, or they talked about it very similar in this first administration. With him being in construction and them having a lot of ties to this industry, right, and working with these steel companies like USPS and Cleveland-Cliffs, these companies tend to do very well. So this might be something that people wouldn't mind buying shares, even if it moves up from $12 or stay in this range for a little bit, and it gets up to $18 to $20. I mean, you're making 70% money on your investment for long term over the next 2 to 3 years, and it takes that time to get back up here. I think that's an easy investment. So that's one company I'm looking at. Like I say, you do your own due diligence, but just looking at the technicals, it's reversed. It's still weak, but I like it when the MACD crosses over a 3-week period and my DMI crosses. So those are good indicators for me to maybe take a shot, either buy the stock or buy some leaps. All right. Well, that's all I have for today's video. Like I said, Tuesdays and Wednesdays is going to be pretty much the same with Powell speaking. His conversation is going to move the market. It's going to impact it. So we're just going to watch the other stocks and see what they do, how they all move, be patient, and then follow the trend. All right. If this video has been helpful, always like, comment, and subscribe. All right. Take care. Be blessed.